Hello, I'm Michael van Geuwen. Welcome to Behind the Bar with Paul Starr.
Welcome to Behind the Bar with Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. I'm happy to say we've been joined by Mace the Ace. A little bit of up close and personal, couple of questions if you don't mind, Chris.
I'm dreading it.
Right, of course, you've been on Twitter and had some of your followers has sent some in. First of all, Owen Bink says the best player in the PDC not to win a major, and why, if that's possible.
Well, it's hard to look past Terry Jenkins in terms of results. Is it 8 finals or 9?
I think it could be 9 now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 9 finals, which is incredible because unfortunately he just comes up short every time in the final. I don't know whether that's down to stamina issues or his age. But yeah, for me, on pure results, you probably have to go with Terry. On talent, Merv King, maybe Dave Chisnell.
Yeah.
Out and out, like real power scoring talent, and then probably them two. But for me, I'd have to look at Terry.
And of course, he's done the business a couple of times in the last year or so. Down, of course, at the ITV events, down at the at Butlins in the Players' Championship and the UK Open. I think he disposed of Michael. So he wins big, but there's up. Yeah.
He can play. I mean, when you look at performances, again, someone like Kim Ibrits, when you look how well he played against Michael in the Grand Slam, he hit a 9-darter and lost in the semi eventually to Dave Chisnell. But yeah, there's a few. There's probably too many to mention, to be honest, because they're all so talented. But out and out results, the one I feel the most for is Terry.
He's Terry. And we've got Paul C mentioning your spat, or should we call it that, with
which one?
with Mr. Taylor. Of course, he's quoted as saying this, this kid will be a world champ one day, but also that that you wouldn't be a world champ. So in those, I mean, you were a major threat to Phil in those days. Any part of it you thinking that he was trying a little bit of psychology, to?
No. I mean, it's actually good. Actually, you can clear up some quite mystical things that me and Phil don't get on. We got on fine. We talk a lot. When he owned the Cricketers Arms up in Stoke, I used to go up regular from Bristol to Stoke to practice with him, and we always spent a bit of time away on tour. We'd have a meal, have a drink, and a chat, and we would always spend a lot of time practicing together. And in that period, from sort of 97, 98-ish, he beat me in the final of the World Pairs, and then I think we met in 9 quarter-finals in majors, and then there was a stage where I was ranked 1 in the world and he was ranked 16. So the last 16 of every tournament I went to, I kept walking into Taylor, and then unfortunately I only managed to beat him 3 times in ranking events. But I don't think it was mind games. I mean, I think he could, if he wanted to twist me, he probably could have. But no, he was all right. He was good. He was giving me good advice, and unfortunately, I think just through out and out frustration on my part, we had that fallout, and it was basically down to, I think he beat me 4-0 in the last 8 of the World Championships. Could have been last 16, and it was a lot closer game, and he treated me with a little bit of disrespect afterwards, and I unfortunately I reacted where, in hindsight I should have just sort of laughed and moved on, but to be honest, by that point it was really beginning to grind me, because I couldn't make any progress, and he was just too good. But we look back at it now and laugh. It was unfortunate at the time. It was a little, it wasn't a massive fallout. It was just, put it this way: a week later, we were in the Sagermakers bottom knocker having a pint and having a laugh and joke about it. A week later, and we continue to do that to this day.
Yeah, and that says it all. Shane Wilkinson says, anyone sort of underachieved, maybe hasn't quite hit the heights you thought they might, or maybe a player who has achieved more than you thought in the game?
That's a toughie. I mean, you look back at, Parks achieved an incredible amount, but again, I think he could have achieved more. But again, sport's all about timing. when Joe Cullen first come along, I thought, wow, this kid is special. And there's so many, the youth players. I think there's a young lad called Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, he plays on the tour, doesn't he?
Chris Dobie's another one I've seen that I like. It's lucky when we do the UK Open ITV, I get a chance to see a lot of these guys. Obviously, I don't go to any of the pro, but I might grab the odd pro tour before a TV event just to familiarise myself with the new faces that will be in the UK Open. But they're stacked with talent.
Yeah.
You know, kids like Ricky Evans, Dave Pallett, obviously Michael Smith, another hugely talented player. Then we've got a load of these European guys whose names I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
You know, they're really starting to back up again. The darts is now huge in Germany, and it's growing again in Holland. So much so that there is plans to put TV tournaments over there because, you know, in times gone by we put events on over there and they haven't been supported, but they seem to be grasping the game again and starting to produce these young sort of 19 to 24-year-olds that are going to be part of the game, hopefully.
Yeah. At Sports Page 180, say the 4 most naturally gifted dart players ever.
Oh, I hate doing this because I could probably give you 44, but unfortunately you only ever get one winner and countless different runners-up. But Gary Anderson, Adrian Lewis would be another one. Barneveld, purely for his throw, and Wade. I mean, those 4 players have had such longevity, and I think it's down to the action. You know, and it's just very smooth. There's very little can go wrong. You know, and if you look back to sort of John Lowe's throw, you know, you can see even now John's still a really, really good player, and you go and see him in exhibition, and he does perform to a really, really high standard. So yeah, I think if you look at naturally talent, you got to look at them throws that make you feel sick when you're trying everything you can to hit trouble 20, and they can stand there and drink a cup of tea and chat and still hit one.
Darts journalist, as a career as a pundit, has that changed your sort of outlook? You know, as looking at darts as a dart player, have you changed at all in that?
I try and do both. Obviously, I'm a fan. You know that. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a bit of a historian on the game. I do have a genuine passion, and I think being a player gives me a better insight because I have more understanding. I don't try and, when I'm doing my commentary, I don't try and be overcritical because I understand, you know, more than most that sometimes, no matter how you feel or how much you practice, it just doesn't work out for you. You just don't get the rewards back, and you've got to have some kind of empathy with them players and try and get that across to the public. You know, if they watch this guy for the first time, they go down the pub next week and go, "Oh, he wasn't very good, was he? Oh no, he's a great player, but he's just had a bad day." And that's what I try and do.
Yeah. In fact, we've got a gentleman, Tony, I think DeBell, I think his name. He says in the practice routine, how do you sort of practice, and have you changed that over the years? And is there one tip above all that you would pass on?
Oh, I think it'll be just one. I mean, there's so many aspects to the game. There's several really. I mean, my practice routines now is trying to get them in the 20. That's always good. Yeah, it's all about preparation really, and it's giving yourself realistic goals and staying committed. It's like anything. The more you put in, the more you get out, and try and not get frustrated. I know that's rich coming from me, but yeah, you just gotta stick in there and look for small targets, like tiny little bits of improvement over a long period, and don't get too involved in averages and stats too much, because, you know, leave that for when, you know, you've made it and you're on TV, and it's relative, because, you know, I always say the perfect example is if you're throwing straight tons and you don't get a go at a double, you've got a scoring average.
Yeah.
You know, if you get sort of stuff 6-1, that's really just a scoring average. It's not really anything relative to a playing average. But yeah, just try and enjoy it. Small goals, small targets, and improve over a long time. That's my best tip.
Yeah. And I think that the final question, actually, it's Gaz and Keith, they both asked the same question. When's the comeback happening then, Chris? Is it next year?
I don't know. I mean, I qualified for the Gold Cup finals, which is going to be at Lakeside on the 4th and 5th of June, I think. So that's going to be quite. That'll be my first time back since 2001.
Yeah.
When I played in it and I lost to Merv King when he was number 1 seed. I was 2 sets up, 2 legs up, managed to blow it. So that was my last memory. But yeah, qualifying for it was great. It's going to be interesting to take myself back there and see if there's any kind of emotion. I've had the odd 96 average at Super League, so I think I can still play.
Yeah.
But it's a big difference in a 96 average in a pub of a best of 5 and then walking into someone like Michael Van Gogh in a best of 11. I'm not sure I could swallow getting walloped week in, week out, 6-0, 6-1 by MVG and the boys.
No.
But no, you never say never. I don't think I'd ever play in the PDC again at any kind of level, because I just don't. I think the game is moved on.
Yeah.
Not in terms of the quality at the top end, but the quality low down. Even when I first joined the PDC, there was still a lot of players around that I would comfortably beat early doors, and that's how you gain momentum and confidence, and you build your game over the day. Where I just don't think now I have that game from the B of bang to be competitive. But I can still play, but just not from the B of bang. I need 4 or 5 ciders and 3 or 4 hours practice. So unfortunately, in the PDC you don't get that. I'd be out by 10 past 12.
10 past 12 up in Wigan on a wet Saturday afternoon. Well, I tell you what, being on the telly, of course, ITV are doing great covering all these events, and the World Series. Are they sending you off to Japan at the end of the month?
The World Series finals, which isn't going to be in Japan. I think it's going to be in Holland.
Excellent.
And ITV will be broadcasting it with their original team, as in terms of myself, Alan, Stuart Pike and John Rawling.
Yeah.
And our presenter will be Jackie Oakley, who you probably know from, she does a lot of BBC stuff and every kind of sport. Football is her main thing. So that will be interesting. A new person at the helm. I hope she enjoys some banter, because she's going to be getting plenty of it. But we're definitely doing the finals anyway, live on ITV. Won't be on delay. It'll be on ITV4, and that will be additional to our already events of UK Open and Players Championships. So it's good for us. I mean, it's a bit frustrating for me to not be doing anything for 6 months of the year. So I don't get an opportunity to do any other television. And when I heard ITV were covering these new events, the World Series, I was excited. And for continuity, I think it's a mistake. Excuse me. I think everybody associates Rod with Sky. And just the general feedback that I received, via Twitter and Facebook, etc., was, everybody was disappointed. They liked the way, I like the way Sky do it. Some people like the way Sky do it. I like the way we do it on ITV, and vice versa. It's some people love it, some people don't. It's just one of those things. But I think it's important but my opinion is for ITV to have kept the continuity. I think it would have been great to introduce Jackie into the team with a new event, because it would have been fresh for everybody. But I think they used Matchroom's production team down there in Australia. Was it Australia for the first one?
Yeah, because we got because we had Dubai, didn't we, and then Japan, and
that's right,
Auckland,
Dubai,
Sydney.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there anyway.
No, I didn't think you would. I didn't think.
I didn't want to come over and do some on the bar with me.
Yeah, that's what you want. You don't want to be going off to Auckland and Japan at the end of the month.
I don't like all that sand anyway, and hot weather and money. I hate it.
Hate it, absolutely hate it.
No, that's who never would have got back.
No, but that's great. So yeah, World Series finals, hopefully in. Well, you will be there, and that'll be great. So, any idea on the format? Because it's tricky to know at the moment. The players picking up ranking points.
I've had some. Well, I would say I was asked for my input, but I gave it anyway. And I think we got to be very careful of making things too stale, and everything's too familiar. It's all this leg play. The only other set play we do is the Grand Prix, which is a double start.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an introduction of equal darts. I think.
Oh, right.
I think equal darts would be good, and then if a match goes long, and instead of having like a one-leg tie-break, maybe have like they have with penalties, maybe 5 darts each at the ball, and then you keep going until one misses. You know, something to keep it fresh. It's a new event. I don't think anything you could really do with the game now would spoil it, as long as it was, you know, relatively creative and not something, you know, like covering the board or making them throw from 10 foot. But yeah, I think we should be looking at being a bit more innovative. We're innovative in terms of the way the Sky do the television, and the way, you know, obviously we try and do it on ITV. I think it's great that we've got all these new tournaments all over the world, but I think we need to freshen it up a little bit. Leg play's fine if it's played over a long distance, like the match play. You know, it starts off long, best of 21, and it gets longer.
Yeah.
But then when you do that, if someone sort of races off with the final or the semi-final, it's a bit of a yawn fest, because there's nothing there to captivate the audiences live or on television. Yeah. Where with set play and, you know, my idea of the equal darts, you can imagine the tension if a guy's gone out in 3 with his throw out on, you know, 68 and used all 3 darts, and you want 50.
Yeah.
Do you take that risk to win the leg with the 1 dart and go for the ball? I think it would add massive tension. It wouldn't be complicated to explain. You know, I think we live in this fear that people who watch darts wouldn't know. You know, if we changed it, that we'd put them off. They wouldn't. It would give them something else to comment on. And as you know, through social media, they do like a comment.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, what a great idea. Well, Chris, I think you and the ITV crew are doing a fantastic job. I love it down at Butlins a couple of times a year, and long may it continue, I say.
Yeah, I love it, mate. It's really good. It's a great fit for everybody that does it. I think we try and do it totally different to how Sky do it. I mean, you know, Sky are expert sports producers and production. You know, they do it week in, week out. And I know we get a bit of stick that we miss the odd double, and they cuss these people and cuss that people. What's hilarious is it's most of the time more or less the same people doing it behind the scenes. But the casual fan doesn't see that. I mean, you know, if we miss a double, oh look, they missed another double. I can put Sky on and I watch them miss loads. You know, but I don't choose to comment. It doesn't really matter to me. You know, if one person don't like it and 99 people do, then that we're happy with that. I think it comes across. We give everybody a fair shake. If there's 32 people in it, there's 32 equals. You know, we'll give them all their bit of time. And you know, it's hard. Having been a player, I know what it's like to try and encourage some sponsorship and get as much airtime as you can. And it's nice when you get a chance to interview the guys. You get to know them a bit more. You know, it's putting their face out there, and those guys are in the same business as everybody else, and it's an expensive game when you're on the fringes and you need all the promoting you can get.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time today, and hopefully you don't mind in the future we'll call on you again and get a few more questions. And do you want us to get on Behind the Bar?
Absolutely, man. I'll have to get behind that bar for real. Yeah. There's some cider in there.
Yeah, no doubt. There's some ready. Thanks, Chris. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, mate. Thanks, Paul.
Cheers, mate. Fantastic there to catch up with Mace the Ace and a little bit up close and personal. And thank you very much for your questions on Twitter there. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter. And join us next week on more Behind the Bar. We'll be keeping you at the sharp end of World Darts, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. We look forward to seeing you then.